Good Thursday. I'm Ed Matthews. I want to give you an update on Sally, or shall we say post-tropical Sally. That's right, it's lost its tropical characteristics. It's just an area of low pressure. Very interesting here. The storm continues to weaken, although at the 11 o'clock advisory, winds remain at 30 miles per hour. But here's the big change with this advisory. The storm, or the low pressure area, is moving off to the northeast. It is haul and buggy now, moving to the northeast at 21 miles per hour. It's getting caught in the upper level wind currents that we call the westerlies, and it is really moving along. And I'll tell you what, gang, that could, and I emphasize could, have an impact on how much rain we get. Now, this is a new development, and we're going to stick with our 3 to 6 inches of rain that we're looking at, because we still got some heavy rain on the way as we head through the afternoon and to the evening. But with the rapid movement of the low pressure area, we could get the rain out of here later on tonight, and it turned out to be totally dry on Friday morning. Hey, that'd be a great thing, right? Very interesting here, and of all the tropical systems that I have covered, this one is interesting in the fact that here's where the low pressure is located in Georgia, but look where all the heavy rain is located. Now, normally when we have a hurricane to move inland, it kind of spreads out. The precipitation field spreads out from the center of circulation, or what we know as the eye. But now this is really spread out. Overnight, heavy rain over Georgia. You can see the green polygons here. Still some flooding there, even though a lot of the rain has tapered off to nothing more than light showers. But now the heaviest rain this morning has been moving through South Carolina, and you can see now that is right on the North Carolina-South Carolina border. So around the Charlotte, Gastonia area, we're starting to get some heavy downpours as well. Another polygon here, this is a red one. This is a tornado warning. I've seen a couple of tornado warnings over central South Carolina. Now, our severe weather threat here locally is quite low, but we'll take a look at that coming up in just a minute. The updated forecast track really hasn't changed much at all. We expect it to move across Georgia into South Carolina, and then eventually it will kind of merge with a cold front moving in from the northwest, and it will just push it on out to sea. But I think the big change that we've seen with this advisory, again, zipping off to the northeast at 21 miles per hour. So if we can get the rain in and get it out quickly, it's going to really kind of help us out. But as we take a look at the radar, again, noting a tornado warning or two over South Carolina, the heavier rain moving out of Georgia now through South Carolina. But the leading edge of that is pretty near the North Carolina-South Carolina border. So some heavy downpours around Charlotte and down to Rock Hill, South Carolina. That will continue to advance into our part of the Piedmont as we head through the afternoon. So the time frame for heavier rain, we're still looking at about 2 p.m. until about 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. And we've seen generally light green and darker green over our area. That's just kind of a steady rain, but occasionally we see some pockets where the rain is a little bit heavier. We're seeing some of that in Guilford County right now, tracking up from Asheboro. So Greensboro, within the next 15-30 minutes, you're going to get some heavy downpours over Guilford County, and the rain rates will only increase as we head through the afternoon. And of course, we continue with the flash flood watch. It's a watch so far. We have not had any warnings anywhere in our viewing area, and it'll take a while of the heavy rain for us to get any of those flash flood warnings, because we've been relatively dry here recently, and that's going to help us out as well. But of course, as we go through the afternoon and into the evening hours, we'll keep an eye on things, and we couldn't rule out some flash flood warnings, implying that flash flooding is occurring in the areas where they're issued. Now, we're still going to go with our 3 to 6 inches of rain across our area, kind of a broad brush, 3 to 6 inches of rain, but I am a bit encouraged by the faster forward speed of the low. Again, get the rain in and get it out pretty quickly later tonight. So I'm hoping that actually we will see the low end of this amount of rain that we're forecasting. And of course, Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley will be watching that very closely on through the afternoon and evening. That's what we do with these tropical systems or any type of weather we have. We have to really track it hour by hour as it moves through our part of the Piedmont. Okay, the severe weather probabilities. In our part of the Piedmont, we're holding in the 60s. We're probably not going to move very much temperature-wise, and that's kind of helping to keep the atmosphere fairly stable over our part of the Piedmont. However, we go towards the southern Piedmont and over to the Sandhills. We're going to be keeping an eye on Montgomery County, Moore County, and into Lee and southern areas of Chatham as well. You guys are in the marginal risk for severe weather. But on through eastern North Carolina, level 2, the slight risk. We couldn't rule out maybe a spin-up tornado, because what is a tropical system or a post-tropical system is just a large rotating area of thunderstorm, and it's that rotation that can get the tornadoes to kind of spin up rather quickly. But I think we're good to go here in the Triad. Anything, though, that pops up on the radar, we're going to be watching it very closely for you on through the afternoon and into the overnight period. And then let's get this thing out of here and have a completely dry day coming up on Friday, which would be awesome. That would be great. Let's check it out in a forecast for you. We're still looking at for some heavy downpours as we go through the afternoon. As we saw on radar, a little pocket of heavier rain moving into Guilford County now. We'll be on the lookout for some flash flooding on through the afternoon and into the overnight period. That's kind of the time frame that we're looking at. And of course, with the rain-cooled atmosphere, temperatures move very little. We're going to hold in the mid and upper 60s. Now, I have a 40% chance of showers in for Friday morning. But I'll tell you, with the fast movement of this system, it could, and I emphasize could, turn out to be completely dry tomorrow morning. And that's something that we'll be assessing as we go through the afternoon and evening. But certainly we're going to dry out at some point. The earlier the better on Friday, and we'll see clearing as highs warm to around 70. Now that cold front that's going to push this system right on out pretty quickly is going to bring some refreshing autumn air to the Piedmont. It's going to be downright chilly through the weekend and early next week. Hey, look at this. We're looking at highs in the mid 60s and lows down around 50 over the weekend, and likely remaining a bit chilly as we head through the early part of the new week. Good news, we're going to stay dry, and temperatures ease up into the upper 60s Monday and Tuesday, and maybe into the low and mid 70s by Wednesday. We encourage you to stay with us here at WFMY News 2, online and on air, if we have any severe weather warnings in terms of flash flooding. That's the concern. Of course, we'll let you know, and we'll get that on air as soon as possible. In the meantime, you have a great day and stay dry.